Hello, my name is Robert Larson. I'm an attorney and I'm also the owner of the Larson Law Office in Mesa, Arizona, and I focus primarily on family law and estate planning. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about estate planning and why it's important to have a comprehensive estate plan in place. And most attorneys are going to tell you the reason to have a comprehensive estate plan in place is to avoid probate. You hear that all the time. And probate is a court process that determines where your assets are going to go after you're dead if you don't have an estate plan in place that would avoid probate. So we don't need to get into too many details about that, but I agree that it's ridiculous to go through probate and it's a waste of everyone's time and money. So I'm not going to disagree that that's important, but sometimes there are actually more important things than avoiding probate. For example, it is possible to go through probate and have your assets still ultimately go to the family members or charities or wherever you wanted your assets to go. It could still happen even if you had to go through the probate process. It would, like I said, it would take more time, take more money, cause a lot more frustration. It would force your family members to jump through a bunch of hoops and go through a court process over several months. But ultimately, your assets may still go where you wanted them to go. But even worse, sometimes they may not. I've seen many situations where people didn't have a comprehensive estate plan in place, and as a result, their assets went somewhere they didn't want them to go. So can you imagine your assets end up going to one family member when you wanted them to go to someone else? That would be very frustrating, and that's a more important reason to have an estate plan in place as opposed to just avoiding probate. Another good reason is not having a comprehensive estate plan in place often creates division among your family. It creates fighting. Basically, if you don't give clear instructions on what's going to happen with your assets after you're gone, then your family has to figure it out. And sometimes family members don't get along, and sometimes someone doesn't have good intentions, or maybe people do have good intentions, but they just disagree on what to do with your assets. And that creates fighting, and I've seen fighting lead to pretty serious results and consequences because someone doesn't have a comprehensive estate plan in place. So if you want to avoid your family having to try to deal with your assets and deal with your whatever messes you're leaving behind, then if you have a comprehensive estate plan in place, it gives clear instructions about what is supposed to happen, who is supposed to do it, and there's very little room for fighting. So those are a couple of reasons, and there's probably others, but those are a couple of reasons right there that are more important than just avoiding probate. So in review, yes, it's important to avoid probate, but it's even more important to make sure your assets go where you want them to go. And it's also important to make it easier on your family so that they don't end up fighting and trying to figure out how to deal with the things that you leave behind on their own. So if you have any questions about that, if you want to put it together an estate plan, I'm happy to do that. And you can give our office a call anytime and schedule an appointment. And if you like this video, please make sure to like below, follow so that you can get more in the future. And feel free to call anytime.